Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Brickard Boom, and it's officially time for spooky season. What that means is for the month of October, we'll be doing spooky-ish, ghost, weird Pokedex entry-related runs. We may try to get a surprise video up since I have that vacation coming up at the end of October. I just realized the day of recording this is October 1st, which means my vacation is now officially less than a month away, and that's fantastic. Today we're going to see if we can beat the game Pokemon Emerald with a single Haunter, because it has been a few weeks since we've been in this game. It's a second stage Pokemon with access to pretty decent move pool, and that's going to make for a pretty fun run. Out of the three ghosts, Haunter is probably my favorite of the original trio, while Chandelure is my all-time favorite ghost. This is my favorite of the originals. Now, to take a look again at that move pool, we get a pretty good access to a pretty good variety of moves. Dream Eater, Thunderbolt, Shadow Punch, basically any ghost moves that our little heart desires, along with some pretty decent coverage. But the biggest problem is going to be our stats, and they're not bad by any means. We've used a lot worse in the past. It's just that the physical side of things, we are rather frail, but the good news is the ability that we get is Levitate. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the rival Mudkip, because at the end of the day, since they don't really pose that much of a threat in this game, it doesn't matter. I didn't remember until after I did this that this gen ghosts actually still get Levitate, meaning that we're not going to be affected by ground moves, and immunity is always fantastic, but like I said, it doesn't really matter all that much. I think Haunter is going to be able to beat the game, I just don't know how easily. There are going to be some parts of the game that are going to be very difficult, especially at the beginning of the game. For the beginning of the game, we only have Lick, and that's a ghost move. And what is all over the beginning of the game? Normal types that we can't touch. Kinda. What we have to do to get through the beginning of the game here is drain our PP. We do that, and then we go through and we fight everything that we can. Run back to the Poke Center, heal up, do this again. It's a very long process, but it's the only way that we can get levels this early at the game. This strat will go ahead and get us through the beginning of the game all the way over to Roxanne. And this should be interesting because I only had enough patience to get up to level 14 between the trainers that have normal types and a little bit of grinding in the woods. When we get to Roxanne, we're at level 14, and we open with Lick that does solid damage thanks to a crit, and we paralyze it immediately, which does pay off. After that, because it's not a crit, the next Lick does horrid damage. Thankfully, Geodude misses the next two turns, because the third turn it connects, and it does a good chunk of damage. We do take it down to yellow, but then Roxanne heals up. We keep whittling it down, but there's a good chance we're going to run out of Lick PP if we get to the next Geodude. Ultimately, though, a few turns later, it does just end up taking us down. Unfortunately, I did try again. We're not going to be able to do it at this level. If we can't beat the first Geodude, there's very little chance that we're going to be able to beat the second one. And then on top of that, there's a Nose Pass at the end that's holding a berry. So what we do is we get some levels to get access to Nightshade. During the back half of the game, this is a pretty mid move. But at this stage of the game, kind of a lifesaver. At level 21, we open up with Nightshade, taking the Geodude to yellow as Rock Tomb connects for solid damage. Roxanne heals, but we take it right back to yellow, then take it down. Another Geodude is out, and we take it to yellow as another Rock Tomb connects and further lowers our speed. This Geodude gets healed, take it back to yellow, then knocked out. Then, finally, it's out to Nose Pass. We get hit with Rock Tomb yet again, down into the yellow as we take it to red, and then another Rock Tomb connects, and we get knocked out. Next attempt, I'm not gonna lie, it's basically the exact same thing, except this time they are kind enough to miss one or two Rock Tombs, and with that being the case, we're able to go ahead and take down Roxanne to get the first Gym Leader badge. It's not exactly the most exciting recap, but judging by the footage that we just saw, you could probably tell where this was going. But now, Roxanne is done and over with, we'll go ahead and get through the next bit of the game, which means a little bit of sailing. And while we do, it's at this time I'd like to remind you to like and hype the video and subscribe to the channel as well. That's your homework assignment for the day. That is, sad enough to say, the only way the videos actually get pushed out into the universe. But if you want to comment too, Give me some reading too. You know, I'm cool with that too. Tell me your favorite Halloween candy while you're at it. Those are your assignments. Like, hype, subscribe, candy. Now, while we're going through all this, I will say that there are going to be a lot of Aqua and Magma fights throughout the majority of this game. Given that, we will not be covering very many of them, except for maybe the ones on top of the volcano, and the ones when we're trying to awaken Groudon and Kyogre. It's a lot, and the video would be 10 times longer if I tried to cover every single admin and above fight. There is, however, on the way to the next city, a May fight that is absolutely not important, but I'm gonna go ahead and cover it, because how often do we actually get to do well at this fight? Not very often. May first starts off with Torkoal, and we open with a Nightshade, taking it to about half as it sets up Curse. Next turn, we do another Nightshade to take it down. Then, it's out to Mudkip, and Nightshade takes it to half as Water Gun connects for a bit of damage, and then we take it down. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do is make our way to Brawly. We do have to go through the Dark Cave, which we could technically do after Brawly, but we've honestly played this game enough. We could do it before, and it's actually kind of easy by now. I think it's about a 10-minute trip total. After that, that's when we'll go ahead and see if we can grab that second gym badge. Machop is first, so we use Nightshade, taking it to what appears to be exactly half as it uses Bulk Up. Thankfully, Nightshade bypasses that and takes it to a Sliver. Brawly does heal up as we swap over to Lick, not doing too much damage, but getting the Paralysis and a full para. We take it below half, it stays paralyzed, then we take it down. Meditite comes out next, and we use Lick, taking it to nearly half as it uses Bulk Up. We then swap over to Nightshade, taking it down. Last but not least is Makuhita, and Nightshade takes it to not quite half. We use Lick to take it a little bit down as it uses Bulk Up, and the Berry activates. Nightshade takes it to almost half again, and then we take it into the red. Brawly heals up, and we can start whittling it down with Nightshades as it continues to get swole, since there is nothing else it can do, winning us a very simple badge. We'll go ahead, grab Shadow Punch. Our physical isn't the best, but it does get priority. It's more punchy than Lick, so hopefully we won't need to paralyze anything soon. Given how good our speed stat typically is, especially for a Ghost, I mean, it took how many Rock Tombs to connect for Geodude to outspeed us? I think we'll be fine. Now we have some travel, some grunt work, and even more footwork. Up ahead, this is going to be one of the harder May fights in these early portions of the game, but with a Haunter, I'm not sure we'll struggle too much. But it's what is after this that I'm worried about. We have a horrifying gym leader to go against. The Nuzlocke Ender and solo run Menace Watson is up ahead after this. But let's fight May first, and then we'll see how we do against him. May first starts off with Lombre, and Shadow Punch takes it to below half as Astonish does a little, then we can take it down. After that, it's out to Marsh Stomp, and Shadow Punch doesn't bring it to half. Water Gun connects, and we swap over to Nightshade, taking it into the low yellow as another Water Gun connects, and we take it down. Finally, it's out to Slugma, and we take it into yellow as Ember connects, and then we'll take it down to win the battle. We'll take that. Alright, so we do have one more fight I kind of forgot about. It's a Wily fight, it's a 1v1. Until he gets to Victory Road, there isn't much of a recap here. We actually go ahead and just end his solo career. Let's check out Watson. Watson is going to start things off with Voltorb, and we open with Shadow Punch, taking it below half. Spark does a decent bit of damage, and then we can knock it out. Next out is Electrike, and we land another Hypnosis on it, then swap to Shadow Punch, taking it to yellow. Another punch finishes it off. Next out is Magneton, and we do a small chip, and then it just takes us out in 2 turns. Okay, this might take a little bit of time. First and foremost, we're going to go ahead, clear the trainers to the east, west, and north of town, then try again. If that doesn't work, we can go ahead and take some more levels, because honestly, I do think Magneton is gonna be a problem. I suppose I could use Nightshade for guaranteed damage if push comes to shove, but it does have a pretty decent HP stat, so I don't think that's gonna work. Now, these attempts do take us all the way to level 39, and even with this level, we're still getting knocked out quite a bit. By now, we can take the Voltorb down with one shot, and then with Electrike, we do the same. As Magneton comes out, this is what we have to do. We have to put it to sleep, and this time we succeed, and then we can use Dream Eater to go ahead and take it out. There were a lot of attempts where we just missed that, and it knocked us out. Finally, it's out to Manectric, and it paralyzes us. Shockwave does some decent damage, and then we put it to sleep. After that, we swap over to Dream Eater, healing up, taking it down, and finally getting to win this battle. I am horrified of getting here during the Arceus lock. After that, we have some more travel to get out of the way. We do have to knock out some Magma and Aqua plotline. Along the way up the mountain, we do keep an eye out on Hiker Watch 2025, and sadly, nothing this time around. But with us being at the top of the volcano, it's time to cover the most anime battle that this game could ever possibly provide. Maxie starts off with Mightyena, and we open with Shadow Punch, doing not very much damage as it uses Howl. We swap over to Hypnosis, then use Curse as our body heals us a bit. Shadow Punch takes it to yellow, it wakes up, uses Bite, and we go down. After a few attempts, Mightyena is kind enough to stay asleep, and we can take it down before it wakes up. When Zubat is down, we can take it to red, and it uses Bite, then Maxie heals up to full. We take it back to red, then Maxie heals, and it's back to red, then it goes down. Finally, it's out to Camerupt, and we take it to almost half. It attempts Magnitude, but that doesn't affect us. For safety, though, we do go ahead, put it to sleep, and use Dream Eater, which does finish it off. Now that that's out of the way, we'll go ahead and fight Flannery, and then it'll be off to face Norman. Once we get to Norman, or after we beat him, I should say, we'll do our usual mid-game review of how Haunter is doing. It's vastly different in Generation 3 than it is in Generation 1, mostly due to the addition of Dark types, but more on that in a little bit. Let's go ahead, we'll face off against Flannery first. Flannery starts off with Numel, and we open with Shadow Punch, taking it to yellow as Overheat does a bit of damage. Flannery heals, and we take it back to red, then knock it out. Slugma is next, and it's a Slugma, so it's pretty easy to take down without too much trouble. Then it's out to Camerupt, and we use Hypnosis, then Dream Eater, getting our HP back and taking it down. Finally, it's out to Torkoal, and we put it to sleep as well. The sun fades, we use Dream Eater, taking it to red. It gets healed up, taken back to red, then taken down, winning us the badge. Alright, that was simple enough. I don't know how Norman is going to go, because we're a ghost type, but I'm sure that he has something that can hit us. Spinda is first, and we go ahead, put it to sleep first turn, then take it down with Dream Eater. Next up is Vigoroth, and even though we do try to put it to sleep, we just go down to a couple feint attacks. Unfortunately, this is going nowhere fast. So rather than level up, what we do is we go ahead and take a field trip, go grab Secret Power. Shadow Ball can't affect his Pokemon, and if we miss more than, honestly, one Hypnosis, we're probably just going to go down. So maybe a normal move for this gym will go ahead and help us out. I'm sure that we're going to end up replacing it, probably right after, but this could be useful. Spinda's first. We use Hypnosis, take it down with Dream Eater. Next out is Vigoroth, and we use Secret Power for not as much damage as I would have hoped, but we'll take it. We take it into the yellow as another feint attack takes us to yellow, then we take it down. With Slacking, whatever, we put the beast to sleep, then swap to Dream Eater, taking it to yellow, then we can take it to a Sliver. Norman does heal up, but we're able to thankfully take it down before it wakes up. Then, finally, it's out to Lanoon, and we put it to sleep as well, taking it down with a Dream Eater, winning the badge. Now that we're officially halfway through the game, we can do our Haunter review. Now, in a Fire Red Leaf Green kind of scenario, Haunter would be an easy A to S tier kind of Pokemon, but in this game, where Dark types run rampant, along with multiple Dark type moves, I mean, it's still really solid, but now that there's so much that can affect it, it's definitely a little more scary to actually be able to use. The good news is, though, it's still really solid, and now that we can do Watson's side quest to grab Thunderbolt, it's about to be even better, with a lot more coverage options. And as we go into the back half, I can see Tate and Liza being an issue, because that's usually an issue. Beyond that, though, I think we're going to be good. Winona's Earthquaking Altaria can't Earthquake us, and Juan is a Water-type gym leader, so that won't be a problem. We'll get through this leg of the game, and after we beat the last gym, we'll go ahead and do our usual plotting against the Elite Four. So as we get through this part on the way to Four Tree City, we'll go ahead and fight the rival one last time after the Weather Institute. Technically, there is an option to fight the rival in front of the department store later on in the game, but unless I need something inside, I usually don't even make the attempt or even bother covering it, to be honest. For this May encounter, though, she starts off with Lombre, and we open with Shadow Ball, taking it down. Next out is Slugma, and we use another Shadow Ball to one-shot it. Then the same can be said about Marshtomp, winning us a pretty simple battle. Let's head to my favorite city, clear out the Kecleon infestation, and then from there, we'll go ahead and take on Winona. Also, if you want a good, ridiculous laugh, make sure to check out how Ash wins the battle against Tate and Liza in the anime. I was watching a creator do a review on all the different gym battles that Ash has done, and this one is easily the most ridiculous. Anyway, Winona first sends out Swablu, and we open with Thunderbolt, taking it down in one shot. Then, it's out to Tropius, and we take it to low yellow with Thunderbolt as it sets up Sunny Day. Winona heals up, and we put it to sleep, then Dream Eater it to replenish the few HP we're missing, then we can take it down. Next out is Pelipper, and we swap back to Thunderbolt, one-shotting it. Then after that, it's Skarmory, and we use Thunderbolt, and that's going to be an easy one-shot. And then finally, you have Altaria. We take it to yellow as it sets up Dragon Dance, and the berry heals it to almost half. We use one more Thunderbolt, and that takes it down, winning us the battle. Oh, hey, guess what? I need the department store for supplies, so I guess we're going to go ahead and fight May this time around. Tropius is her first Pokemon, and we use Thunderbolt, taking it down with a crit that I don't know if we needed. Slugma comes out, and we use Thunderbolt, and take it down as well. Ludicolo is next. Thunderbolt takes it yellow, and it just uses Swift, which can't do anything, so we take it down. Then you have Swampert, and Shadow Ball takes it yellow as it uses Mudsport, and then we take it down, winning the battle. Alright, so what we'll go ahead and do is get our shopping out of the way, and then get more world-saving business done and over with. There's one more big maxi fight that we'll cover, and then we'll head to Tate and Liza. This one is always a bit of a bear to have to cover, so once we get there, be a little patient with me, please. After Groudon somehow flies out, despite not being a ground type, I can't imagine that he jumped that far, though he does have pretty good quads. We'll go ahead and fight Maxie. Mightyna's up first, and we use Shadow Ball to take it below half as it uses Scary Face. Next turn, Maxie heals, and we take it back to yellow. It hits us with that swagger that Gen Z always talks about, and then we can take it down. Crobat is next, and hits hard as we use Thunderbolt to take it down in one shot. Then it's Camerupt, which is his last Pokemon, and we miss Hypnosis, but it just tries a ground move. We put it to sleep next turn, then take it to yellow as it wakes up, sets up Amnesia, then Maxie heals. We take it to yellow with Shadow Ball, dropping its Raise special, and then we just knock it out. Now that he's taken care of, we're going to go ahead and go to the gym that I'm not feeling super confident about. Part of that is the scripting. For some reason, despite doing this game probably a dozen or more times, I never feel confident writing out this battle scene. If you can't tell, like I said before, we're going to Tate and Liza, and the good news is, Earthquake can't touch us, so let's see what happens. We send out Haunter and a low-leveled Phanpy that absolutely gets taken out first turn. We select Thunderbolt and take out the Xatu in one clean shot. This brings out the Solrock, which is needed, because usually, when the Solrock is out, it'll set up Sunny Day, which spares us from Psychic. Then, we'll take out the Claydol, Lunatone gets brought out, and we one-shot it. Solrock then hits hard with Psychic, but we're able to respond back with a Shadow Ball that ultimately takes it down. This took about 7 or 8 tries to get the luck to line up, but anytime that I don't have to level up against the twins, I'm going to go ahead and call that a victory. Alright, one more fight and we'll get into the last little bit of the game. Archie, and this is one that I usually forget to cover. Archie first sends out Mightyna, and we use Shadow Ball, taking it to about half. Archie heals up, and we spend a few turns smacking ourselves silly before knocking it out. When Crobat comes out, it opts to confuse us again, but we manage to put it to sleep, and after that we can just one-shot it with Dream Eater. Last up is a Sharpedo, and a single Thunderbolt takes it down. Again, that's something that took a few attempts, but overall it's not bad. But oh no, the ground type and water behemoths are somehow evenly matched, despite Groudon only standing on one small piece of land. Let's grab Rayquaza, and now we're able to save the world in full glory of its amazing FPS and 4K graphics. Or, you know, early 2000 graphics. At the time, though, whew, this blew my mind. It's time to go ahead and fight the final gym leader. Juan starts off with Love Disc, and Thunderbolt is how we open up, taking it down in one shot. Whiscash is next, and we use Shadow Ball, taking it to low yellow as it sets up Amnesia, but even with the buff, we take it down next turn. Crawdon is next, so we swap back to Thunderbolt, taking it down in one go. Then you have Kingdra, who can usually be a problem as we open with Shadow Ball, taking it into the yellow. Thankfully, even after a double team, we connect with our next attack, taking it down. Last up, it's CeeLo Green, and we go back to Thunderbolt, taking it down a one go as well, winning us the battle in the final badge. Now that we're officially done with the badges, from here, it's basically going to be a battle gauntlet till the end of the game. After we get through Wally, we'll go ahead and do that review. Wally first starts off with Altaria, and we open with Thunderbolt, taking it to not quite half as he uses Dragon Dance. We try to set up Hypnosis, and it sets up Safeguard, so then we just take it down with Shadow Ball. Next out is Gardevoir, and that's also a one-shot with Shadow Ball. Delcatty comes out, and it's pretty horrible, so that's naturally a one-shot. Not sure if the crit was needed, but probably not. After that, he sends out Magneton, and we swap back to Shadow Ball, taking it to yellow as it zaps us with Thunderbolt for pretty good damage, but no para, so we'll take it down. Last up, he sends out Rosalia. We use another Shadow Ball, taking it down, winning us the battle, and letting us move into the Elite Four. For the Elite Four, honestly, I think the biggest issue is going to be Sydney. Sydney uses Dark-type Pokemon, and that can do a lot of damage while there isn't much we can do. Most I can do is just kind of hope to one-shot as many things as possible, which I guess is kind of the point of having a Haunter. On the other hand, Phoebe does have the potential to also be a huge problem for us. She does definitely like to use Protect, she has Pressure, she'll use Curse. My plan for her is to basically put the Dusclops to sleep and hope that I can take them down before they wake up. Given the fact that they do have Pressure, we may run out of Shadow Ball PP if that's all we're using. Glacia, that's a non-issue. The double-edged sword of Ice types more than not means that they have a Water typing, which is great because that makes them perfectly Thunderboltable. It's a word, look it up. Drake, well, did you know that most Dragon types have access to Crunch? Now you do. That's going to be a lot of trouble. We basically have to put most of the Dragon types to sleep, especially if we can't one-shot them. Then finally there's the champion, and he uses Water types, so I am not at all worried about that. But enough preamble, let's go ahead and see how things go against Sydney. Why is it always the first member of the Elite Four? I just realized I always have issues with Lorelei too. Mightyeno's first, and we open with Shadow Ball, taking it to not quite half as it uses Sand Attack. We swap over to Thunderbolt, getting a critical hit, knocking it down. Shiftry's up next, and we take it to yellow with a critical hit Thunderbolt as it sets up Double Team, and then we take it to a Sliver as it uses Swagger. Sydney heals up, and we touch Shadow Ball damage, then snap out of Confusion, taking it into the yellow as it double teams. Then we begin missing, and smacking ourselves, and go down pretty quickly. So we do try this battle a lot, but it's not going well. This is about as difficult as I thought it was gonna be honest. The amount of super effective moves he has in his arsenal are just a bit too much for us to handle, so without much of a choice, we do have to level up and just keep trying as we do so. At this level, Mightyena goes to red, and then gets healed up, but next time we get a high roll of the damage, taking it down in one go. After that, Shiftry is out, goes to red, but then we take it down. Then you have Cacturn, and we repeat the process of two-shotting that Pokemon as well. Crawdon is an easy one-shot, and then it's out with Absol, who sets up Sword Dance, then we take it to red. Even with the berry, it still gets healed, and then we get a high roll on the damage next turn, taking it down to win the battle. Had Absol hit us, it would have immediately wrecked our attempt, because it did multiple times before this. Let's move on to Phoebe. She starts off with Dusclops, and we have to play this carefully due to pressure, and it's setting up Protect and possibly Curse. So what we go ahead and do is put it to sleep, then take it down with 2 Dream Eaters before it can set up anything against us. Banette is next and is kind enough to drop to a single Shadow Ball. Another Banette is out, and we do the same thing to it. Then her second Dusclops is out, and we do try to put it to sleep but miss. It hits us hard with Shadow Ball, so we just go ahead and try to say, let's do it. We retaliate with our own, hope for the best, and thankfully it goes down. And then after that, Sableye is last, and we one-shot it as well. Alright, now we're on to Glacia, and now it seems like things are moving right along pretty well. Glacia first sends out Celio, and we open with Thunderbolt, and our special attack is monstrous, so we're able to go ahead and take it down. Next out is Glalie, and we use Shadow Ball, taking it to red, then Glacia heals up. We do go ahead and take it back to yellow, then knock it out. The next Celio's out, we swap to Thunderbolt to knock it out, and then finally it's out to Walrein. We use another Thunderbolt, taking it to red, as Surf hits hard, but we can go ahead, knock it out after a heal up. This did take a couple tries because Crunch KO'd us last time, but let's go ahead and see how things go against the Dragon Man himself. Shelgon is first, and it likes to set up Protect, so we waste a Hypnosis, then one shot of a Shadow Ball. Next out is Salamence, and we use Shadow Ball again, taking it to yellow, and then the Crunch takes us to 18 HP, and then it knocks us out. Next attempt with Shelgon, it's exactly the same, and then with Salamence, we put it to sleep, then knock it out with a crit Dream Eater that we definitely needed. Flygon is out, and we take it to yellow with Shadow Ball. Crunch does hurt a lot, and Drake heals up. Then we put it to sleep, Dream Eater it to yellow, and then knock it out. Altaria comes out, we can go ahead and take it to yellow, and Aerial Ace does some damage before it goes down. Then, with Kingdra, we put it to sleep, then begin Dream Eating it as well, taking it down in 2 turns. An odd way to win, but I'll take it. Time for the champion, and we'll see what happens. He's a water trainer, so I don't think it'll go too badly. Wailord is up first, and we open with Thunderbolt, taking it down in 1 shot. Then you have Whiscash, and we swap over to Shadow Ball for obvious reasons, and take it to yellow as Surf connects for decent damage before it goes down. After that, it's out to Tentacruel, and we swap back to Thunderbolt, taking it down with a crit that I don't think we needed. You have Ludicolo out, and we miss Hypnosis as it sets up Double Team. Thankfully, we do land it next turn, and then use a Dream Eater to take it to almost half. It wakes up, so we swap to Thunderbolt, getting a crit and knocking it out. Gyarados will always likely be a 1-shot, and then Milotic is an easy 2-shot to win us the champion battle, though admittedly one more Surf would have absolutely knocked us out. Alright, so that's the run, but if you've been here before, you know that it's not quite over. We have a very secret Super Steven fight, and I mean, I'm gonna just play the footage here. You can kind of see that at our current level, we are getting nowhere fast with it. It's a Metagross, and we're a Haunter. Did you expect it to be any different? This could be done probably at a much lower level. If we were a fully evolved Gengar, we'd probably be doing a lot more damage, though we also probably wouldn't have needed to be at such a high level to beat the Elite Four, so it's kind of hard to say. All the way at level 90, we can now take down the Skarmory with 1 shot. Next out is Claydol, and we can use Shadow Ball on it, taking it to red, and then after the heal up, we take it down. With Metagross, we put it to sleep, then take it to red. Steven heals up, and we take it to half, then we end up taking it down. Cradily is next, and we hit it with Shadow Ball as it gets a special drop, and it hits Ancient Power before going down. Armaldo goes to half with that special drop, then takes it down as well. Then, finally, we repeat the process with Aggron, and that's the battle. Alright. So that's the secret fight one, and now the run is officially done and over with, and I hope that y'all enjoyed this. Out of the 3, Gengar may be the fan favorite, I'm not denying that, but Haunter and its Sprite have always been top tier for me. Next week, the poll on my Discord is very close between Banette and Trevenant, and then of course we'll be doing a Chandelure run by the end of the month. We did also play a good portion of Pokemon Fire Red with our Arceus lock today, so I've been in front of the computer a lot more than I usually am. I'm gonna get this recorded, edited, posted, but for now, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!